pyrography onto this slice of oak. Well, we were walking the dogs. I found this on the side of the road, this piece of wood. And no, it's not fully dry. No, it's not. It's only had about one season, if that. And because of that, it's going to move. But that's not my worry, because it's only going to be for me. And quite frankly, if it doesn't stand the test of time, that's it. The test of time, I'm not that concerned. Now, I'll just make another one. And the purpose of this piece of wood, this slice of wood, is, well, when I'm doing my videos for this channel, such as on this bench here, I have to keep trying and get my sign in above my head. And I could do it when I'm, well, a sign closer to where I'm working. So what we're going to do is, we're going to woodburn, or pyrography, Wally-bois, the name of this channel, onto this piece of wood. And then we're going to decorate it as well, this piece of wood, with probably a saw blade or something like that. It will be a saw blade because I've got one. Yeah, I've already prepared it, ready. So what we're going to do, first of all, we've got to think of how we're going to transfer that onto that. Now, there are various ways of doing this. One is you could reverse print this, because this is just a laser print off my computer, and you could reverse print this and use a hot iron and transfer the thermal print from the laser print and printer onto this piece of wood. So then you get a very faint image, but you'll get an image. And then you could go over it, if you like, with a pencil, such as this one, or you can, you know, highlight it quickly with your pyrography iron, such as this one. Now, there's a variety of different pyrography irons, and the one I'm using is a whole life pyrography iron, which is this little unit here, which is basically it's a transformer, and this little device on the end, which is a hot wire. So the current goes between the two, well, what do you call them, prongs, and then that Neo something or other thermal wire. Anyway, something like that's called now. Anyway, it's white. It's really, really hot, and will burn the wood. Now, if you wonder what that arrangement is on there, it's because I've got carpal tunnel syndrome. That allows me to have a little bit of this, as you probably hear, it's clipping. There you go. You always turn up during a siesta, says. I just saw that. Hello, buddy. I wonder what you're making. Well, this is the device we're using. I'm really pleased with this little pyrography kit. It only cost me about 30 euros. It is Chinese, obviously, and it is made under lots of different, or sold under lots of different names. So I would like, try not to drop stuff. I would like to get this a bit higher so you can see a bit better. So I might have to bring the camera down onto it, as we do, because it's a funny shape, you see. And I've already sanded this slice of wood using basically an angle grinder with a sanding pad in it, and done it outside so the dust can blow away and annoy somebody else. Well, there isn't anyone here, so it's only me. So anyway, so I just really attacked it with this. Now, there are other ways you can flatten that off. One is by hand with a hand plane, a scrub plane, or something like that. Or you can, it will be another video actually, is create like a surfacer using, well, a router. So it's like a router in a carriage, which you can slide backwards and forwards, and it'll be slide across two rails, and then whatever's taken off here is perfectly flat. So it's a good way. If you've got wonky wood like this, and you want to flatten it, like a slice of timber, and you want to flatten it, that's a good way of doing it. But I haven't done it that way, no, because I need to make one, and I haven't done that yet. So I want to try and get that camera a little bit further back, so you can see, but also not too far away, so I need to be able to touch it. Ooh, touch it. Ooh, hammers. Put them over there. So we'll put that over there, maybe at an angle. How about over there? Oh, a little bit over there. Oh, just a little bit. Yeah. And then we'll bring it down a bit, maybe. There you go. That's a bit better. So let's bring that out. Ah, there we go. So I need to transfer the name of my channel onto this piece of wood, and I'm going to use carbon paper. Good old-fashioned carbon paper. Now this bit is a bit worn actually. Well, a bit windy today. Yeah. Now, ideally, I need to be able to stick this down onto here, but all I'm going to do is probably just put a few nails in just to hold it in place. It's a bit Heath Robinson, I know. But hey, c'est la vie. Well, in France after all. So, I'm going to try and, I can't clamp it in there, but it's a bit of a bench. arrangement, kind of just support it a little bit. You've got to check you've got to obviously make sure you've got the right face down. So if I do that, yep, so it's the right way round. So I use my fingernail and it's put a little mark on there, so I know it's the right way there. So I'll put that on there like so. I'll put that on there like so. Right, but all I'm going to do is, before I put that on, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a fold in the bottom of this, and that'll be, I'll know then, because I've got an edge I'm working to, I'll know whereabouts if it's moved, what have you, I can see if it's moved. And that is basically, I want it on there like that, yeah, along the bottom. And the idea is this little sign here, I can have it on this bench if I'm doing like close work or doing a short or something like, with little vertical videos, and it should work out okay. So let's put that on there like so. Right there, I reckon. The letters aren't hard and fast, so just put a little crease in so I know exactly where it's going to go. And now I'll insert my carbon paper, which still has a little bit of life left in it, so why not use it? That'll be that way around, I think. That way around. Let's place it on there. The wind is not helping. No. Here's Alka-Seltzer. Or a non-windy day. That'd be even better. Okay, so that's going to go on there like so. Now, I might squeeze these letters up a little bit closer because they're quite close to the edge. Now, there is a risk as this dries out the bark will fall off. quite a strong risk actually, but there you go. So I'm just going to tap that on there to move, but not too deep. How are you? So put them out again. Put one on there like so, and that automatically create like a register as well. So if I want to take it off, put it back on again, I know if I put them back the little pimples on there. I know you wouldn't do it if you got a French polished piece of furniture. You obviously wouldn't do that. I'm going to use my mechanical pencil. You can use an ordinary pencil if you like. Any pencil will do. A biro will do. And then I'm going to transfer those marks onto this piece of wood. But like I say, these two letters here, they're getting too close to the edge. I'd like them a bit further in. So I might have to squeeze everything up a little bit. So I'll do a few letters in the middle here, then I might pull it to a little bit. See, that hair can be pulled to. Those two letters, the two L's there, they're probably as close as they can go. That's as close as it can go. But the W can go closer, and that L could go closer to that Y. And I could squeeze it up a little bit without making it look ridiculous, I hope. So if it does, oh well, so it be. Just got to follow these lines, push them down reasonably firmly. I don't care if they're not 100% straight, because it's an organic thing really, isn't it? So I'll draw that around there like so. And what I should be doing, hopefully, if I have put it right around, yeah, I have, transferring a little bit of carbon paper mark onto the wood. And that'll be my guide. So those two, do these three first then. Like I say, they're not going to be 100% straight, but I'm not worried about that. I'm going for that organic feel. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Artistic license, wouldn't you say? No? Otherwise we'd be getting the ruler out and drawing along a ruler and getting perfectly straight. I've still got to do a freehand, whatever I do, so regarding the actual pyrography. But I will leave a link that once I've got this videos up, I'll leave a link down below for the pyrography kit. You get £30. That's cheap as chips, isn't it really? And it does do a good job. Right, so now I want to squeeze this letter up a little bit really. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm holding that down so I don't end up in the wrong place, I'm just going to pull it up a little bit by putting a little crease in there. You could just cut, oh actually I've got some scissors over, I could just cut it actually. Where's the scissors? Rubbish old scissors here, these will do. So if I just cut that down there then. Like that. I'll be able to pull that one a little bit closer. And a quick draw around that one. Yeah, that can go right there. I didn't want it so close to the edge, it was too close to the edge. There you go. Hope everybody is well. It's been crazy weather of late. It's a bit worrying what's going on in India at the moment because their temperatures are just going through the roof. Normally every 312 years apparently they have extreme temperatures. Now it's estimated they're going to have every 3 years these extreme temperatures, which is a bit concerning for the people of India. So let's put that back. Put that back in here like that. Cut it again, so I'll bring that one closer there. Line that up again. Oh, that's lined up. Let's put one back in there. Oh dear. These things are sent to try us. Now I'm going to bring that one over a little bit, just to... Oh, that's it. And that'll squeeze that little S a bit closer then. I'm quite happy. That's enough. Right, so let's just... Now, if you, like I said, if you're doing anything fine, you wouldn't be backing holes everywhere, would you? This is a little sign that we're going to have on this bench whenever I'm doing close work, so people can see what that means. Is, you see, because I have my logo there, or at least the channel name, people can see what the channel is obviously called, but I wouldn't have to edit the video and think I've got to add the logo in. It'll already be there organically, so there's less editing to do, if any editing. If I need to do any editing at all. Sometimes I don't, as you probably already know. Probably I should. Surprising how long editing takes, you know. There's so many processes. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm going to cut this out and cut that out. You have to, you also have to process it several times as well. So you're basically rendering it down to whatever size video you're going to do, and that process might have to be done several times, depending on what you've, you know, where it's going. Because some places, they don't accept files of any of a certain size. YouTube's okay, you know, they do accept fairly big files, but you still have to be able to work it. And if you've got a system that's not very fast, you know, a computer that's not very fast, well then you're going to struggle to edit that video. So you might have to do a bit of, you know, a bit of editing to start with, or compressing or what have you, to make it a little bit easier to manage. Not everyone has got super fast computers, and not everyone has got super fast internet. So yeah, it's quite handy to be able to do stuff that allows you to do these, or do this, yeah, do these videos, etc. With the least amount of work. Because then you might be able to get another video up. In this case, with this sort of video, you might be able to help somebody else if they're, you know, if it's an educational style. I hope it's gone through. We'll see, shall we? Oh yes, there is signs of a sign that there is. Let's take these out. These little locator nails. Well, just steel nails are used just as little locator pins, really. Hopefully it's lining up okay. That looks good to me. You can see that on there. There you go, it's on there. It's faint, but it's there. So let's put this over here and put something on it so it don't blow away. Anyway, I see what you're saying anyway. Hope the sound is okay, and I hope I'm not too quiet. That paper is sharp. Ooh. It's a good thing he's wearing his safety glasses with that wind blowing like that paper around. I'll tell you stuff, a bit of paper getting in the eye, but they can't hurt you, know. You can scratch your eye with a piece of paper. Crikey. Look, he's got holes everywhere now, doesn't matter. But there you go. So the V. So I'm just going to highlight anything I'm not 100%, you know, isn't as dark as I would like. So I'll just go over it again. In places, not everywhere. Only where I think it's a little bit on the low side. Bit of contrast, it helps. Now I haven't sharpened this pencil because I wanted it to be round on the end. Make it easy for this job. I haven't uploaded as many videos onto this channel as I was hoping to. It's just been so busy with everything, and also been busy with my greenhouse. That's really come along well. That has. I'm really pleased with it now. I've done the ends. You might watch them on the other channel, or you might not have done. But I was doing the greenhouse, installing the other greenhouse. I've done the ends now. I haven't put the doors in yet. Just basically finished it off. So it's the ends of the greenhouse have something there, a bit of structure there, and it's all held down. So now the wind is getting up, I'm quite happy I have. And I've also put a load of tomatoes in. Not all of them yet, because I've still got in that area of ground before the greenhouse went up. We had some potatoes in there. We're waiting for the new potatoes, so just sort of waiting for them to. I want them a little bit bigger. I don't want to take them up just yet. Last year we didn't have any real problems with Colorado beetle. Every other year we have. So I'm hoping it's not going to be a good. Maybe they all got COVID. I'm hoping the Colorado beetle is not very happy, and it's time to move on, because we have had problems with it. It's very hard to control. In the UK, you have to report it to death row if you get Colorado beetle on your potatoes. You don't hear that, not in France. It's not a requirement. It's so common. We have bugs. There you go. I think that's good enough. I can see that. I can easily see that. Oh, hang on. I'm going to do the other two letters as well while I'm at it. Make them a little bit darker. Like I said, I don't matter if it's a bit higgledy-piggledy, because it's kind of go with the look. You know, we're not, it's not typesetting. There you go, that'll do. So there we are, we have some letters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that camera in a little bit closer in a minute. So you can see me burning my wood. Burning wood, you know. That's what's going on. Yeah, it's a windy old day, isn't it? I don't know how it is over wherever you are. Is it windy where you are? Oh, hello, Duke Vengeance, buddy. Yeah, that's why we are going all green and using computers instead of paper. Yeah, we are. That is green, but I can't remember. I did read up about this also on a documentary about the amount of energy used just to send an email. People don't realise it's pretty terrible. Just an email. I can't believe it. Or especially with things like Facebook and all that sort of stuff, when things potentially can go viral. So, it uses a lot of resources. I didn't realise that. So I might, or should I just bring this up a bit higher onto something? What could I use to put that in or on? I've got a pot over there, or a pot over there. I could lay in the pot. A Dutch oven. I've got a little Dutch oven here. I could lay it in. I don't think that will be big enough. What about this Dutch oven down here? Oh, I'm surrounded by Dutch ovens. I do actually use them, actually. So if I lay that in there... that'll work, won't it, maybe? Oh, no, it's a bit wobbly. No, maybe not. That's going to be really annoying. That's got a curved bottom on the bottom of that oven, you see? You put it in your cinders. Ideas. I suppose I could just put that up that way round and lay that on there like that. How's that? That might work. Yeah, that'll work. There you go. I've got to sit on a chair that needs repairing. It's not a good idea. So over here we've got a little pyrography set there. I've turned it on. Let's bring it back a little bit further so you can see. Yeah, I've turned it on. I've got the temperature's going to be whacked right up. Well, I say right up to about. We'll try it right hot because it's oak, and I really want to burn it deep. Yes. There you go. Let's move around a little bit more. Probably chop the head off. Oh, no, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So okay, that's my little pyrography tool, and because the button on there's a little tiny button on there, it's really stiff to push down. So I created this kind of it was a Heath Robinson idea, and as you can see, it's already on. But that's off, and now it's on. So it's heating up nicely, and it should glow bright red. What, a Dutch oven? Yeah, I know, not that sort of Dutch oven. Been there, done that. So that's, I don't know if you can see that, but that's actually getting red on the end. It's probably not exposing very well. Oh, let's come off. Yeah, that's on. So it should be heating up. Yeah, that's heating up. You can't see in this light, but just so it's it looks a bit sort of a bit of a reddish colour to it. It's a bit out of focus. There you go. So anyway, let's get to it. So we're going to burn that as best I can, and I want to do it relatively deeply. I was going to use a router for this job, because the letters are quite small. I'm not going to get very good detail. So I thought Oh, I'm not quite cool if I do a bit of pyrography. If it doesn't work out, I'll just start again. You can see it burning. Oh. So I've got to do all the bits that are easy to do, freehand, in the same direction. While my hand is in that position, I'm going to just do the ones that are nearby and do all those lines. Instead of trying to do that around the letter, I might as well just do what I can regarding all those little straight bits that tend to follow on to the next. You don't have to go around the letter unless you really want to. You know, if you're doing texture work and stuff like that, obviously it'll be different. But this isn't. We're just going to be creating a series of letters on a piece of wood. Well, that's the plan anyway. So first of all, we need to do all the outlines and then decide what I'm going to do regarding the infill, which is probably going to be burnt as well. Now, this piece of wood here is, well, it's not dry, so there is at a risk of getting shakes in it. Might not be too bad because it's not sliced right through a log. Then you have problems with you can get heart shakes, you can get like shrinkage cracks basically, and whopping great cracks from the heartwood right from the pith right to the bark, because the strain pulls in a circle all the way around. It has to give somewhere. And the idea is you need to slow down the drying process best that you can. Otherwise, you will end up having a bit of an issue with shrinkage, severe shrinkage. So if you can, oh, it went all flary then. Fire! Nearly. Make sure I'm on the inside of my line. Now, once I've done this, you see, I'll then get the sander on it and just sand a little bit, or do it by hand even. And that'll take, at the moment, it looks not very, like it's bleeding into itself. But that's only where the tannins in the wood, or the oils in the wood, are like sort of burning on the edges. But once you unsander it, that disappears. No, there, because I've done it so many times now. So. There we go. I'm doing it quite deep. So I want this to be quite dark. I'm beginning to think I should go a little bit hotter, which I can go up another 100 degrees. And now we've got more flames in, you see. There you go. It's getting there, nice and deep. Of course, it's been mad weather here. The evenings have been really warm as well, around 27 to 29 degrees Celsius. The dogs have not been too happy with it, especially Sebastian and Wally actually, with the heat. They've been struggling in it. Partly because they've both got heart conditions, unfortunately. As Wally's got heart murmur, and poor Sebastian, I found out yesterday he's got heart disease. So he's got enlarged heart, so it's not very, prognosis of that isn't great. So he'll be on the same medication as Wally. It's getting particularly expensive, I can't really afford it, to be honest. I've got no choice though. Other things I'll have to give. The stuff called drug is called Vetmedin that they have to have for their heart. It's quite common. There you go. Yeah. See, Wally he costs around 50 to 60 euros a month for his medication. And Sebastian, he's going to most likely be on a duck because he's a bigger dog, twice the dose. And that's me buying the drugs online. So it's we buy from Portugal actually. So it's definitely a cheaper place to get it. Definitely cheaper than the vet anyway. Okay, we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. But I have to admit, with Wally, we noticed within a week he livened right up once he started taking these meds. doesn't get rid of the condition. It just allows him to deal with it basically. Yeah. Well, I might keep it over. I don't know if I'll do infill or not. Quite like it like that. Yep. Yeah, I put in quite a few. Oh, what have I put in? I've got Pyrus, Montfave, Cromwell Nor. I'm talking about tomatoes. What I put in the garden. All the usuals like Moneymaker and a couple of varieties of cherry tomato. I can't remember what ones they are. Pineapple tomatoes, zebra tomatoes. Mind super steak. All the big fleshy varieties of tomatoes, which I absolutely adore. I love the black ones. Quite my Noir. They are such nice tomato. I think they're a Russian variety. Oh well, Crimean. Is that would that be correct or not? There you go. We're getting our W. Oh, it's all coming together. The only thing is, when the wind's blowing to your face, it's quite nice because it's cooling me down with that heat. But it's a bit of a cooler day today because obviously it's windy. But that flipping smoke from this flipping thing is blowing me. Oh, you see the glasses on. I do have actually some Stanley goggles which are quite good. They're not like those crazy like school type goggles. They're huge, too big for your head. They're almost like steampunk. They're quite good. But I forgot to put them on. Didn't think I need them. Anyway, it's on there like so. That one on there like so. Oh, it's coming together. That it is. I've got a few things I've got to do. I've got a few jobs I need to do regarding. I've got a few sales on Etsy that I need to sort out today as well. So that's quite handy. Not much money, but it's a little bit of money. And then I've got what else was there? I've got some bolts to make for a customer. Wooden bolts, like slide and shoot bolts. Oh yeah, Mr. Sawdust Man, Boston Sawdust. He's made some bolts on his channel, which are quite cool, and sort of secret knobs and stuff. Nothing like a secret knob. There you go. Oh, we're getting close. That'll be 3 letters done. So even now I'm useless, even with that button being pressed down with that bit of inner tube, my hands are starting to cramp up because of carpal tunnel syndrome. It's very helpful. No. Right, so far so good. So what I do need to make is a little stand for this. So I have to keep turning that off. There you go. Quite good for that. Let's make sure that was there. Right, put that to one side, let's see. I'll tell you what, I'll give it a little bit of a rest. So that's what we've got so far. We've got a wall. So I've got to decide whether or not I'm going to infill that with black, with the pyrography as well. Burn the infill or not, I don't know. I might just keep it an outline. No, it's quite. Let's see what it looks like when we get it closer. Just spotted this and about to head off throw ourselves in a lake. Oh, sounds like a plan. Have a like. Catch it like no worries, buddy. Thanks for that, Derek. The angry soul of a tree getting its vengeance. You're right, Duke. Oh, I didn't chop the tree down there, just so you know. I found it on the side of the road. I have whinged about this before. You probably remember. I've been whinging about the farmers here cutting down all the oak trees that happen to be, on the boundary. And I'm just putting wire fences up instead, which is such a shame. It just spoils obviously the outlook for people, but also just habitats and the tree itself. And this is one of the pieces that they chopped out where they've done the wedge for the cut, to fell the tree. It was a big old tree, It was a big old oak tree. So it's sad, So what I'm going to do, I'll clean all the back up and lacquer it up or whatever. And normally what you'd use is, I haven't got any so I can't use it, you'd use a 2-part, like an epoxy resin, a Wessex epoxy system or something like that, and you'd epoxy the whole thing. And what it does is it helps. It does stick quite well as well, and it does help the slow down the shrinkage. You know, it will still season, but the timber itself won't have so much room to shrink down into, if it makes any sense, because it goes into the pores of the timber. It's a bit like there's a system called PET, if you've done wood turning, where you'd have a PET, like a big barrel or whatever, or a bucket, and bigger pieces, and you'd put your green timber in there, and what happens is, with the PET would go into all the pores, you have to soak it into all the pores of the timber, and as the wood shrinks, there's no space for it to shrink into, because there's something physical and solid in the pores of the timber, of the tree itself. So when it shrinks, there's nowhere for it to go. So it pretty much stays the same size. So although it shrinks, although it dries, it doesn't shrink very much at all. So that's with PET. It's quite common in wood turning. Because wood turning is really easy if it's green, you see. And you can actually do a good fast job if it's green. Let's put it back on. Is that button still pressed down? Yep. And we can carry on. Wally bois. Hey, Madbunk 33. The Wild West looked like it. Oh, it is a bit of a Wild West look, isn't it, with the old the lettering. That's Tequila. The font's called Tequila. So I want to do a bit more out here, you see, for the channel. Under my little shelter, which I made in lockdown. So, oh yeah, that's hot. It's quite nice to be outside. And also, if you do dusty work, obviously, you're not making everything dusty inside. Like, for instance, when I was sanding this face this off, to flatten it a bit, the dust would have been everywhere in the workshop. Let's turn that up a little bit. See if we can get a little bit hotter. Don't have a quick. Oh, there we go. It's starting to already. Oh, flames! Flames are coming out as it burns the wood. There you go. Wild, Wild West. Makes me think of Clint Eastwood. There you go. I've been watching a series called Godless on Netflix, and just have something on in the background while I'm working on the computer, editing videos or writing or whatever. And then that's pretty. So I've seen the film, but it's that's a pretty good series actually. If you like that sort of thing, it is set in the West, bit of a western. There you go. Oh, coming along, coming along. It's a bit brutal, mind you. People die. It's not nice, is it? Get that. So the letters aren't perfect, but it just fits the look, doesn't it? So, there you go. My dear wife, she's nipped off with some friends, so she's partying. So, but while the cat is away, this little mouse here will play. Go, that one there. Oh, it's coming along. So I will have to lacquer it, like I say, but I'm not going to be putting a Wessex epoxy system, because I haven't got any, and it's flipping expensive. And also, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me if it starts looking a bit worn or there's a bit of damage to it, because it's going to be left out here anyway. So when it's all cold and raining and what have you, it's just one of the things, isn't it? Always make another one. Find another bit of old wood on the side of the road. There you go. Well, a friend of mine, he's been doing some renovation work for a customer. He's telling me the price of copper pipe at the moment, for plumbing pipe in the UK. That's gone through the roof. I've got trebled in price. It's one of them things that does go up and down in price anyway, because it's copper, it's a commodity, but not by that much. Yeah, it's trebled. It's nuts. Here in France, they do use copper here. They use a lot of plastic crimp on. They have a system which has like a plastic pipe for your hot water and your cold water, but has this like crimp on fittings. It's really popular here. I can't remember what it's called, but it's very, very popular. I think that, yeah, it's great from if you, like for instance, you top of the house to the bottom of the house, or bottom of the house to the top of the house. Well, then to me it makes a lot of sense because you've got, no hard any fittings. Fittings are where leaks happen. So that's good. But I'm a bit old school regarding plumbing. I do like my plumbing to be in copper. It lasts forever, basically, unless you get a freeze. So you got less potential problems. Oh, we've done the Wally now. Enough. Wally's done. You're done, Wally. He was out a minute ago. Where's he gone? He's gone in again. He's been going in, out, in, out. He's sort of like doing a bit of a hokey pokey. You get too hot, you see, then he decides he won't go in again. So you see, I got my Wally. And then I'm going to do my bois. Now, if I was going to be doing it to the rail, what I've done is I'll then paint it all in black and then sand off the surface, which will leave all the indentation, all the routed out letters, recessed. But, we're doing it with pyrography instead. Wood burning it. All some weird and wonderful noises going on behind you. I bet it's a crow. I bet I hear a crow. We're getting a lot of birds, hawks and what have you. I don't know what sort of bird of prey they are, but in my field over there, because it's been hot, they've been circling. So they've been getting their thermals and just circling and circling and circling, and all of a sudden they're higher and higher and higher with the thermals. So they're enjoying themselves. Some sort of hawk. It's quite funny. You'll be driving around here, and there'll be a bird of prey literally just perched on one of the old fence posts. It's very nice being here, in the sense, especially the wildlife. Don't get me wrong, there's stuff that's really annoying. Bureaucracy, for instance. That can be extremely annoying. There you go, getting there. How long that be? There you go, up there. Looking good. No, good wood for wood burning. The birch plies and stuff like that, you can do quite good. But bass is a nice wood for wood burning. Some timbers like pine is terrible for wood burning because it's very resinous grain. Oh, getting there. There you go. So as you do it, you kind of get a bit of wood stuck to the end, sort of burn it onto the end of the tool. bit of a wonky bee. That bee's a bit wonky. Hey yo, so the bee. Been busy planting trees again. I don't know if it's a mistake though, because it's going to get really hot. So I'm wondering whether or not we shouldn't really be doing that at the moment. Wait until the autumn. Got so many to water at the minute. And, you know, with our rewilding thing we're doing, all the tree planting we're doing. So it's just we have to make sure whatever we put in we can keep. You know, they don't end up dying because of a drought. So we need to make sure they've got the best chance they've got, or you know, they can have, and make sure they've got water. Now the silver birches that we were donated from a friend, well not really donated, but anyway they're given to us by a friend. But it cost a big bottle of drink, and most of them, it looks like they're all at the moment. It looks like they're all okay still. When I was talking about when I put a little video clip up. Some people say you can't move and blah blah blah. They don't grow that well like that. So far they're all so alive. So, and some of them look really healthy. So I'm quite happy with that. But next time what we'll do is we'll make sure we go for all the smaller trees, not the ones that looks like they're about 5 years old. So as long as they've got about, I think about 3 year growth, they'll be fine. Okay. It's getting there, isn't it? The letters are getting smaller. Okay. Okay, that one out. I've got an old saw blade over here which we're going to mount up the top there. I painted it black because it had writing on it. Ideally I'd like it to be a rusty saw blade, but I didn't have one small enough. There you go. Oh, just got the S to do. Okay. Oh. And then we've got to do this one over top here. Do the S. I really need to make sure I get some decent sleep. Because obviously doing a live show on the other channel, that really tires me out. Really tires me out. So I need to make sure that I get enough sleep up to that point. Getting old, you see, old and wrinkly. God, I'm 52 this year. And they put me down. I think my time's come. Oh, getting closer and closer. I suppose you could use this for branding as well, couldn't you? Yeah, I could sign Caroline's butt. No? Maybe not. Oh, getting close. Oh, getting close. Yeah, I think the route would have been a mistake because they've got some really small, narrow spaces. I know we'll put a smaller bit in, but what you have is you have a situation where all the corners here will be rounded. And I don't know if you did what 3/32, you know, about 3 millimeters. Bit. Okay, analysis. Let's turn this off for a sec. My S looks a bit shitty, but that'll do. A little bit shitty, a little bit. Got to decide whether or not I'm going to do infill or not. I think that looks better as it is, to be honest. Let's turn it off a bit. Oh no, I'm burning my bench. So there you go, a bit of wood burning. So it's quite a simple thing to do. But this is my saw blade, and I was thinking of mounting that. The old saw blade. I've created like a little mount thing here with a screw in the middle. So that'll go up top here. I'll seal behind it first, just with an aerosol. So it doesn't set beyond there like that. That's my idea. Something like that, maybe a bit this way, maybe. There, that's it. That was quite cool. Little old skill saw blade. It's actually a skill one, actually. My little tiny saw. Let's see what it's saying. Anyone talking? Anyone talking? I'm doing some tidying up while you're on in the background. Yay! I'm on in the background. So we've got our Wally Brass sign, as in it's pyrographied. I'll just go and grab a little bit of sandpaper so I just clean up the edges a little bit. And I'm going to seal behind here before I put the screw the saw blade on. Otherwise, what I do, otherwise I can't the moisture at the timber, because this is obviously a little bit on the green side, will evaporate behind it, so I'll make sure it seals a little bit behind the actual saw blade, but also the saw blade will provide some protection anyway, so it won't be so hot. Because I'm going to live on this bench probably, or put it on there when I'm doing something, yeah, a video, like a short video or something like that, or where I need to be close up, so people can see my logo. Also, they know who we are, maybe. So I'll just clean this up with a little bit of sandpaper, hope maybe that'll take some of the, yeah. Ooh, black on my hand though. It's off this Dutch oven. So 2 seconds, I'm just going to grab a little bit of sandpaper. Glass paper, carborundum paper. It's a bit of paper. Ugh. Here I come. 2 seconds, I said. Well, it must have been 5. So I don't know whether to infill it or not. I don't think I will though. I quite like that actually. But just want to. Ooh, that bit of paper like not be good. Ooh. Stay there. All that wobbliness. I still haven't sorted this bench out. I need to do that. Use this bit of paper instead, I think. Yeah, got a few other jobs I need to do today as well. So. I'll make a load more, take a load more pictures of my Etsy stuff. A lot of those pictures need replacing. I'm wobbling a bit there. I'm not happy with the photographs, they're a bit underexposed. And also, I want to create a video of each Etsy thing, like in my phone holders and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, I should be here today actually, might be in the letterbox now, but little rotating base. Just take little videos of with the phone on. That's the idea anyway. Oh, that's good, better. That's definitely better. Just taking away some of that burnt tan and that's definitely more defined now. And once I, we seal it, a bit of lacquer on it. Might put a bit of polyurethane on it, I don't know. Right, got my airline. Where's my airline gone? What's there? Oh. Ooh. Make it darker again. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. That's definitely better. Yeah, that sounds better. So I'm going to leave it like that, I think. So let's get a bit of lacquer on just see what it looks like. See if it is dark enough. It's a bit smoother. That gives you the idea, look. So do I infill? Oh, I don't know if I do want to or not. I think I'll leave as it is, definitely. A bit of lacquer behind there. Where the blades are going to go. And then once it's all on there, I'm going to... I'm not going to get any runs, am I? No, of course not. God's better. I might have done that a little bit. I'll soak it in though. So that way I'll evaporate. Because in the green the wood is, that is soaking in quite nicely. So now I'm going to take this blade, I'm going to place it wherever I want it to go, which I think is going to be more... Let's put it back on there. I know it ain't dry yet. It's going to go back there, I think. So in line with that area there. And then I've got this little, yeah, like that, I think. I think there's a reason why I didn't chuck it. I'm glad I haven't been chucking my blade. I make my marking knife, what I use all the time now, it was made out of an old saw blade. Made that video of yeah, my marking knife made from an old saw blade. That's been really good. My hand's locking up. I'm all fingers and thumbs. Stop moving. There you go. As you can see, I'm not that fussed. But not quite cool though. Once that goes off hard, I then get a light sanding on the face there and just keep building up the coats. But I will have to put something else other than this stuff on, because I found this lacquer I got here, this Spectrum lacquer, isn't very good outside. It goes a bit milky. The colours are okay in the paint, but the lacquer goes a bit milky. It doesn't like it. So, one side. It's going to be undercover, but that's pretty cool. You got to admit, I think that's fairly good. Bit of an old slice of wood I found on the side of the road in the verge. In fact, that's actually in their field. I jumped over the fence, electric fence. I didn't get that though, thank God. And yeah, so I made a little sign. So that's going to be going here, I think, or wherever I want it to go. Really, I've got another sign I want to make behind my bench. And my tool cabinet behind the bench has got a bit of a backsplash. I want to put Wadi bar on there, because sometimes when I'm doing the closer work like I'm doing here, the sign that's above my head, you can't see it. So I just want it keeps the identity of the channel going without me having to put the identity in a post in the editing stage. Well, suddenly I've got HD footage again, uploading my own video completed, and disadvantage of being in the middle of nowhere. I know that feeling, buddy. Now, our internet here is 4G. We don't have, I might have told you before. Cheers, Mad Monk. It's cool. Cheers, Crystal. I would have put a clock in the blade. You could, yeah. Why not? I've got loads of saw blades, but I think they're relegate them into knives. I might be actually knives, like carving knives. I want to see whether I can make a spoon knife out of ones. I think somebody come in, it was now, who mentioned that. Whether or not I put a temper in it. So basically it's a bend at first, so it creates a bit of a spoon shape. Something sharpen it up, but then I need to try and get the temper into the steel after it's been bent. So I need to do a bit of practice with that, see what I can do. My grandfather used to make, not my grandfather, my great-grandfather used to make all his own tools on the bonfire. And I mean good tools, I mean really, really nice stuff. And all his plane irons for his moulding planes and stuff like that, he's old school. And he used to, it was master craftsman, he used to do like fine carpentry work, cabinets and stuff like that, not carving. Very clever man in things like sausages. Obviously, I was very, very young. But he lived a quite old age, but yeah, bit of a character. He had my kind of build, sort of short and stocky, you know what I mean? But I mean, really strong. But that was one. If you've ever been to Norwich Cathedral, Chris Murphy Cathedral, not Norwich Cathedral, I'm talking about Norwich Castle. All campus where the museum, Norwich Castle Museum, where all the stuffed animals are. My great grandfather had built those years and years and years ago. Yeah, a long time ago. Especially my father, actually, he's done a lot of carving, what have you. And, not actually on Norwich Cathedral, he built hatches and all sorts of stuff when they did the renovation. I think it was back in the 60s or 70s. Probably under Carter's builders, I imagine, because he did his apprenticeship with. So, yeah. It's cool. I say a bit of cognac, but I don't put cognac here. I just want to have a little sign I can use for my videos. And that's quick. Well, suddenly I've got HT footage. Yeah, not just video, Sawdust. I don't know what sort of system you're on, but we've got 4G set up here, where I've installed some aerials on a pole, and it goes to our router, which happens you put a SIM card in, and that's how we get our internet. And I do more live streaming on that, and download we get up to about 80 megabits per second download. Some days is worse than others, and our uploads around 10, which is manageable. You know, to be fair, lots of people's uploads aren't much better than 10 anyway. If you've got 300 megabits per second download, yeah, it's not in parallel. Great library, hello buddy. Since 2016, copper's gone up 400 to 600%. Blimey! Like aluminium, like aluminium, there are enough laying around being thrown away, and it gets recycled. Do not need the source International Aluminium Journal. Yeah, good point. It's like here, I collect all my copper and aluminium, and at some point in the future, I'll take it down to the. There's a place actually in San Juan that buys steel, buys metals, ferrous and non-ferrous metals. So we will recycle things like taps and all that sort of. They've got chromium on them, but they're brass. So like taps and various other old fittings and stuff like that. Bits of pipe that you clearly don't use. But I'm a bit of a hoarder anyway. I've got all these bits of materials all over the place. But I do silly things. When I see stuff like this, I don't see that as rubbish. I see that as something that's potentially decorative. I don't know what yet. Maybe it could be a hat. But yeah, I see that as potentially decorative. So I look at that and I think, what can I do with that? What can I make out of that? And it's the same with this piece here. What can I make out of that? Now what this was originally was, here in France, where you have windows on the ground floor of these old barns. They put bars in the windows, not to keep the burglars out, no, it's to keep the cows from actually sticking their heads through, because quite often the cows would be literally in the field, right up against the back of the building. And that, you don't necessarily want the cow's head coming through, so what they do is this would have been longer and repeated like that. And originally this might have been something like an old tyre off an old an old tyre off old wooden cartwheel or something, and what the old blacksmith has done is made into bars to actually, because it's been obviously had its day, they're made into bars to stop the cows or animals sticking their heads through. Other than that, you get actual like square iron bars as well, and the one behind here has got square iron bars in. This come out of the one in the back of the house where we've got a door in now. So it's it's. To me, I look at this stuff and I think, what can I do with it? And it hasn't got any decorative value. It's intriguing. Like old fittings, like old shutter fittings, the old strap hinges and what have you. The old ones are actually quite beautiful things. They're all forged, all tapers, fishtails and what have you. And you go down to the brickyard to buy, DIY to buy a new one, and they're all flat and horrible and just bent bit of steel. They're not forged. So in comparison, there ain't no comparison. And it's like even in here, I got all the weird little wonderful fittings, rammed into the posts, so I've got you can hang things off. It's like a old blacksmith's pliers, pincers. Like I've got here. Oh. These are forceps to get the baby, for a difficult birth. Maybe. But yeah, there's all that sort of stuff. I keep digging it out of the flipping ground. Because this is obviously an old farm, where we are here, and I keep digging stuff out the garden or in the farm and land and stuff like that. And it seems to work its way out over a period of time, and something starts sticking out the ground. What the hell's that? So you get the old pickaxe and start poking about, and you find it's something iron generally. So I fell off an old tractor or something like that. So there's just somebody wants to talk to me, but that's not a number I recognise. So there we go. There you go. We get a lot of marketing calls here, and that wasn't my dear wife. So yeah. Anyway, I could have done it looser. I'm tighter so it didn't spin, but I quite like that. It's something to be to play with, isn't it? If I get a little bit, annoying. Yeah, copper's it's gone through the roof. Brother-in-law works with metals. He's complaining about getting gates and fences nickel codes. Is there a problem getting the nickel? Says he won't price a job unless it's to be carried out immediately due to the price variation. Good point. Yeah, that's a real good point, Peter. I find that myself actually with my shutters and that, and I have to put a caveat in. Where it is, it's if they don't go ahead quickly, or they don't pay a deposit. Oh God, I win. Or don't pay the deposit quickly, so I can actually go and get the materials. Here and now, I do have to bear that in mind and warn them. Basically, if we don't get this done now, it could go up. Especially with timbers as well. Russia and Ukraine are big nickel that they are, and other non-ferrous metals as well. Russia, remember right? They make a lot of tin foil. They roll huge quantities of tin foil. It's big business. I think I might be wrong, but I think Russia's one of the biggest suppliers of tin foil. It might be China now, but it used to be one of the biggest suppliers of tin foil. Bako foil. They're pretty busy at Christmas apparently. Crying, the wind's getting up. Oh my God, I hope a greenhouse will be alright. So yeah, it's I could probably show you actually. So there's my little sign. I'm quite happy with that. I'm not going. This is going to be a short one anyways. Now, I say short. It's now already. So I've got another job I need to be getting on with, and this is going to be all lacquered up for every period of time, and even the bark on the back. That I've wire brushed it a couple of times, but I'm going to have to go over it again. But we're going to have to seal that somehow. What will happen is it's going to dry and fall off. So I need to make sure it doesn't dry too fast. Oak isn't too bad for it. Some timbers are terrible. Hickory's terrible for the bark falling off. Else was basswood, not that great. But yeah, oak isn't too bad generally. You can hold on because it's really thick bark. What you can do, you can get the nail gun even and just whack a load of nails in. You'll see it will go right into the bark just to hold it on. And then once you lacquer it, or even use the epoxy resin system, that'll lock it all into place. So it's not ideal. The other thing you need to think about, if you're doing anything like this is okay, because there's a really easy way to treat this before you use it, or before you actually bring it into your house, or whatever you're going to do. Just stick it in your freezer. If you've got a chest freezer, stick it in the freezer. If there's any vermin in there, they'll die. Could be frozen to death. Yeah. Little larvae, because the layer where the vermin's most likely to be is between the bark. It's this area here. That's your heartwood in the middle. I think that's an angular slice through the tree, but that is the heartwood where it's lighter, this section here, and then this here is your sapwood, and then between the sapwood and the bark is your Cambion layer. But this area here is very prone to pest damage. it's likely to get eaten by pests. So if it's going to be any worm or any larvae, you're going to find it in this bit. It's the most likely place, especially in oak or even chestnut. So if you put it in the freezer, well, it'll be done for. So that's my phone again. Russian Crown big nickel producers. The cost of building BEV versus ICE was meant to cost. The cost axes of this year due to supply issues and wars. Wars that are up in the air again, and they. Oh crikey! Looking at 2024 to 2030. Burger. Yeah, it's not helpful, is it? And then for the UK, obviously you've got importation problems because of Brexit. That doesn't help either, and a lack of people. That's one of the biggest problems in the UK is the lack of people. There you go. Had to just do a repair. Needed 2 battens, tyre lath. So that'll be what, 40 by 27 probably, unless you can 27 by 27. I don't know whereabouts you are. Come back, right. Tyre lath. Turned out galvanised steel was cheaper. Paid €7 for 6 metre 2x3 steel, and the wood was way more expensive. 2x3, oh, so 2x3 centimetres of steel. So it's cheap to have steel. Crikey. That's nuts. Is that box section or angle? Because box section is quite thin, isn't it, you see? If we're 1 mil, a lot of box section. Okay. Anyway, I managed to do that. That's all very good. I'm going to have to deal with that call because I think it was a delivery that they didn't manage to deliver for some reason. I don't know why they called him because it should be clear as day. They've delivered there so many times. So anyway, that's my little sign done with the pyrography iron. That one is a whole life little device, and it works a treat. You've got replaceable pyrography irons. You can have multiple ones if you like. You can literally just set them up for different ends and have multiple handles to make life a little bit easier. So there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. Ta-ta. And don't forget, hit the whole like button, will you? Ta-ta.